Hey guys, it's Kelsey and I am back with a double feature today. So this is another 2-page companion spread. It is not a double page spread. You guys have seen a few of these this month. I've really enjoyed doing this to kind of get more Bennet pages scrapped quickly, and it's kind of been a fun process to break it up a little bit, doing 2 pages at one time versus one entirely and then moving on to the next one like normal, especially because I'm using the same supplies for both pages, and it's just nice. It's already out. You already did a page. Just roll on to the next one. It's been fun. So I am back with Wolfpack. I have used this entire collection in a How to Kill a Kit with Style. I only had a few scraps left. You guys saw that in the kind of layout share part where you saw that was left over. I said I was hoarding what was left over to use on future pages, and I thought this was the perfect opportunity. Whatever filter we used on these photos made them go so perfectly with Wolfpack, and it was a very family-oriented event, so I felt like it would be really cool to use Wolfpack in this kind of concept. Heidi kind of has a dual meaning behind Wolfpack. It's very outdoorsy, adventure-y. You guys saw me use it all month long for a hiking camping trip that me and Marcus went on, so I really like being able to use it in the more family-oriented way. So right now I am piecing together the only bigger scraps I have. This piece here is actually from One Canoe Two Creekside, but I had a scrap of it and it's a night sky constellation, so I thought it went, but I needed some larger pieces to fill in this 12 by 12, so I pieced together that and this Wolfpack and strips to kind of get the full 12 by 12, and then I'll start embellishing from there. I have just bits and pieces that, whatever wasn't used during that month. And you saw that I fussy cut a whole bunch of packaging too to get little doubles, so you'll see those laid out too. But I still have puffy stickers. I still have a lot of rub-ons. I wanted to use this opportunity to get some of the stuff used up that I did not do justice during the month that I use this kit. So I really like this puffy sticker that says the pack has got my back. That's just perfect. This is right after Bennet's baptism, which is why you can kind of see we're all dressed the same from the last double feature you guys saw. This is immediately after that. We all went out to Mellow Mushroom Pizza to kind of celebrate, and my brother had to fly back to Hawaii, so it was kind of our last meal together before he had to leave. So I really like kind of doing this family-oriented, we're a little wolf pack together, we got each other's backs type of thing. I think it'll be really cute. It's going in Bennett's album, so when he gets older and can flip through it can kind of be a nice little moment. And I used Wolfpack all for myself because I was being greedy. It was all going on my pages in my book, so I really felt like with the pieces I had left, I should make some Bennet pages with it so he can have a little Wolfpack in his life too, because I love these products, and yeah, I just need to share them a little more. So I did take this almost 6-inch circle and die cut from one of the 6x6 paper pads wood grain, and I'm going to cut that into 2 pieces to have my embellishment clusters on this page. I just wanted something to break up these horizontal strips. I wanted to make sure it looked different from the last double feature you saw where I did one of the pages with just horizontal strips. I wanted to make sure they didn't look the same because it started out very, very similar. So I'm going to glue down these wood grain circles, and those are going to be my bases for my embellishment. And then I'm just going to go through the Wolfpack embellishment and see what I can get on this page. This page is very much about trying to use up some of the ephemera that I didn't do a good job with or that I just didn't get to, because this pack's got my back little arrowhead badge is super, super cute, but it wasn't really relevant for Marcus's and my hiking camping trip, but it's super relevant when you think about it in a family sense. So wanted to get that up there. This vellum striped frame is super cute. I cannot believe I didn't use it the month I used this collection, but again, challenged myself to get it on this page. I need to get these things used up. So that's going to go up there. I did cut the bottom part of the frame that was going to be tucked behind the photo to tuck under on the other side of the page, just so that texture and element was in different spots. And then you can see I'm trying already to use some of these stickers that come with the rub-ons. I was hoping I could layer one behind this arrowhead to kind of get one of those used up too, but arrowhead is about the same size as those stickers, so it just wasn't really working to layer them. I do have some stickers left over though, so I think I do end up pulling in some of the feathers. So I do a flat sticker on the bottom and up by the arrowhead, and then I do layer a puffy feather up by both of those too. So and the little circular piece on the bottom left that says part of the pack, that actually is the packaging from, I think it's the rub-ons. The rub-on packaging had a bunch of little examples of how you can layer the rub-ons with these stickers. And I cut them out, and I'm using them as embellishments because why not? And I think that goes really, really well. And it kind of brings in that whole pack mentality idea again with that big puffy sticker that's on the top. So I like how that's kind of in both areas too. And then again, just pulling in more puffy stickers. So I have a flat feather in each area, a puffy feather in each area, and then a circular puffy thing in each area. So I'm glad I got those on there. And now I decided, instead of trying to fill in that area with more embellishment, I was just going to fill in the inside of that frame that was left with my journaling. So I just used my white gel pen, and it ended up saying, we went to Mellow Mushroom for pizza to celebrate your baptism and hang out together before Thomas had to fly back to Hawaii. So I just wanted that detail recorded because I don't think in a couple years we'll really remember this was right after your baptism and Thomas had to go back to Hawaii, and that's why we kind of took a bunch of pictures at this one moment type of deal. So yeah, that's what that is. And I think I am almost done with this page. I know there's something else I pull in because it still looked a little bit too bare, so I did pull out my Heidi Swap teal enamel shapes, and I just used the darker teal I used to enamel dots in both areas. Sorry, windows are open, weather's really nice, and there's a FedEx truck that just drove by, so sorry about the background noise. There's a few videos this month where background noise will be a thing because it's finally fall and I want my windows open, so sorry. Here is the next page. So again, I had these wood grain photo corners. This is very much mimicking the last double feature I had, so sorry. But I had these wood grain photo corners. Again, cannot believe I did not use them during the month I used this collection. Wanted to get them used up now for Bennet. And I didn't have a 12 by 12 or any large pieces to piece together a 12 by 12. So I just pulled out a scrap of this white paper. And then I just put the photo corners on there, and I'm just trying to figure out how to use the scraps that I have to make this page. So I have a very awkward scrap of this constellation paper, but I have two photos, so I figured maybe if I block out both of the gaps with a photo like this, then it will look like a larger chunk. Which also kind of made the design look a little different because I usually really like putting my photos right together, so that kind of made me do a different type of design by separating them like this. I think that looks pretty cool. I did cut them down some, so these photos are just of my brother and Bennet. I wanted them to have a page to themselves. I don't think they've had a page to themselves yet, and given that this is right after his baptism, Thomas is his godfather, I definitely wanted a page just for them with the two of them. I think this picture, both of them are so cute. So I just want to kind of layer them in the same type of way and just have them kind of reflected across the page like that. So I'm really digging into my 6x6 pad for this page, trying to just get through some of this paper that I haven't used yet. So you'll see me just kind of jimmy rig layers here. I'm glad I had to cut them down though, because that really helps with layering with smaller pieces like a 6x6 paper pad. So I'm using this matte print for one of them, the ledger print for another, to be the skinny border right behind the photo, and then I'll layer them both on that gray and white stripe. And then after that, I think I just try and matte with a few scraps that I have laying around still, because I also want to get to some of the scraps that I've already cut into instead of cutting into full sheets. But yeah, so gluing that down. I love Wolfpack so much. And I think it just goes so well with these photos. Thomas is wearing blue too. But yeah, I'm going to get that glued down. Sorry, neighbors are outside enjoying the weather if you can hear them. What do I do now? I think I'm going through my 6x6 pad and just pulling out scraps. Yeah, so there's that kind of checkerboard right there I had a few scraps of, so I'm just going to layer that behind each photo. They're going to be layered differently. I kind of wanted them to start out looking similar, but then the layering get a little different, but you could still tell it was kind of the same. So here's where it kind of goes off a little bit. And I do offset slightly the check pattern just to make it a little more fun and interesting. It's just the tiniest bit, but it's a detail I notice and appreciate, so I wanted that in there. So yeah, there's that check pattern, and then I think I also pull in the scrap of that wood grain that I die cut a circle out of from the previous page, and I'm going to tuck that onto either side of these photos as well, just to get that wood grain in there. I have these wood grain photo corners, and I really wanted that wood grain pattern in on the page somewhere else as well. So you can see where I'm taking that scrap, and that's just going to be tucked around the corners of a few sides of these photos. I almost threw that away too, and then I was like, you can't, you have to save it because I have no self-control. But look, I'm using it, and I actually think I did throw away whatever scraps was left after this, but I think being able to mat 2 photos with that scrap that I had was good enough, so there we go. Yeah, I really wanted to use those photo corners, but I knew if I did, I had to make sure that pattern was somewhere else too. And I really, really wanted that pattern on this page because I did have the big wood grain circles on the companion page. So again, I'm just trying to make sure I pull those patterns from that page in on this one, so you know these pages go together and they coordinate. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm going to get this all pieced together now. So I like that. I like that that really awkward constellation piece now looks like it was a big square all along. So I appreciate that. And then I'm taking a few of these other scraps, and I just want to make it look like that constellation piece is matted all the way around. So again, I have to get a little bit creative because I don't have a scrap that large, but I do have this polka dot that's decent size, and I'm able to cut it on the diagonal and stretch it to either side of those corners. And it ends up looking like it does go all the way around. So it works out. Got another awkward size scrap used up, so I'm happy about it. I definitely have to clean up all these edges because, again, these were all gutted pieces from the 12 by 12s I used during the month I used this collection. But because I gut with my We Are Memory Keepers trimmer and I haven't changed the blade out in ages, they're fuzzy edges. So that's why I have to clean up those edges a little bit before I glue them down if you see me do that. But yeah, I just stretch them on either side of this constellation, and it looks like it's a full mat all the way around. So I'm happy. And I just know I kind of want one more bigger-ish layer to kind of buff this out a little bit. I'm really trying to use this tree print. That backside is that stripe. But it just wasn't working, so I ended up going to the 6x6 paper pad to see if I could get another kind of color or something to go. I pull out a few of them to try, but I end up going with this more tealy one that has the text at the bottom, and I end up just cutting it in half and making really fat, like oh my gosh, words, fishtail banners. So I'm just doing a fishtail banner out of both of these. I'm going to tuck it on either side of the photos, and I think that kind of helps finish off the bigger layers, and then I just get to embellish a little bit. I just know I want a little bit of layery embellishment around each side of the photos. But I felt like I couldn't do that yet until I got the more background design down. So I think that's enough. I'm just going to go ahead and get that glued down. Makes it a little bit more interesting and kind of gives that whole area a base to sit on. Whereas before, I don't know, it just was floating in the middle of the page. And for some reason, I feel like this banner is enough to anchor it. So that's what I'm going with. I'm going to glue that down really quick, and then I will get to my layering. I definitely know... Sorry, a tickle in the back of my throat. I definitely know I need to use some of these rub-ons up because I'm so mad at myself. I had so many left over after my month of using it. So I definitely know I want at least 2 on here. So yeah, you'll see me kind of deal with that in a minute. There I go. I'm wanting the circular ones. I'm just trying to figure out which ones will go best with these photos. But I have 2 white rub-ons left that are circular, and I have 2 more scenic circular stickers, so I just put one on each of them, put one of them next to each photo, and I think that goes really well. One of them says part of the pack, so again that references that he's part of our pack. It references the idea from the other page, and then the other one just says he who is brave is free. And it's really cute because it's next to the page where I don't know, Thomas is looking at Bennet. They both look adorable, but it almost looks like Bennet is like fist bumping the sky or something. I don't know. It's just cute. I thought it went, whatever. It's going to go. So it takes me a minute to get these rub-ons completely transferred. But yeah, I really like that I got 2 rub-ons on here, long story short. So those are each going to go next to each photo, and then I'll layer up a few things behind those. I already know I want to kind of pull in a doily. I want something that has that circular element since I do have that big circle wood grain piece on the other page. So I'm going to tack a piece of that under each side, and then I just feel like it needed another little layery thing that wasn't too distracting, so I did just decide to tuck in a glassine bag on either side. I love adding that. If I just feel like something needs something a little bit more layery detail, but I don't want it to be distracting, tags, doilies, and glassine bags, people, layer them all. Layer all of them. They look cute and they don't distract, and especially glassine bags because they're translucent, you know, so can't go wrong. But I think that adds just enough of a base to kind of fill out that area with the sticker. And then again, I wanted to use some more puppy stickers. I used wolves on the other pages, but I still have all of these bears. And I wanted to pull in a little bit more brown because the brown isn't so represented on this page. So I did just put a bear in both cluster as well. Excuse me. And then I do have the thicker still from this collection. I was able to spell out "Oh Happy Day," so I put that up there to kind of fill in that gap, and then I will do a tiny bit of journaling on the bottom to kind of pull that blue and that text into the other side of the page that just says "Uncle Thomas is officially your godfather!" ! Exciting. So definitely just wanted a page to those two. And then I do go back also with the Heidi Swap teal enamel shapes. I wanted to use the same color teal as the other page, but I only had one large dot of both of them, so I did end up putting 2 arrows with each of them just to kind of buff it out a little bit. It kind of looks awkward to me when there's just one random enamel dot by itself, and I didn't want to pull in a different color, so pulling in those arrows kind of balanced it out for me, I guess. But those are those 2 pages together. Here are the close-ups. I think they turned out really cute. I got some more wolf pack used up, so yay, exciting. I hope you guys enjoyed this double feature. There wasn't a challenge for this one. It was really just for me to use some more wolf pack. I don't need an excuse for that, so that's what I'm going with. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.